Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another reading of 1001 Nights. My name is Saman Giraud, and I did forget my tea. And I'll be your host this evening. All right. For those of you who missed me, I did have a little unfortunate accident, and I was not able to read, but I'm back, and I'm happy to be back. I'm sure Joanna did a wonderful job. All right, let's start. We're at the 160th. All right. Now when it was the 160th night, she said, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that when the slave girl came in to Ali bin Bakkar, she advanced to him and saluted him and spake with him secretly. And from time to time, during the dialogue, he exclaimed with an oath and swore that he had not talked and tattled of it. Then she took leave of him and went away. Now Abu al-Hasan's friend was a jeweler, and when she was gone, he found a place for speech and said to Ali bin Bakkar, "Doubtless and assuredly the Caliph's household have some demand upon thee, or thou hast dealings therewith." "Who told thee of this?" asked Ali. And the jeweler answered, "I know it by yonder damsel, who is Shams al-Nahar's slave girl. For she came to me a while since with a note wherein was written that she wanted a necklace of jewels, and I sent her a costly collar." But when Ali bin Bakkar heard this, he was greatly troubled, so that the jeweler feared to see him give up the ghost. Yet after a while he recovered himself and said, "O my brother, I conjure thee by Allah to tell me truly how thou knowest her." Replied he, "Do not press this question upon me." And Ali rejoined, "Indeed, I will not turn from thee till thou tell me the whole truth." Quoth the jeweler, "I will tell thee all on condition that thou distrust me not, and that my words cause thee no restraint. Nor will I conceal aught from thee by way of secret, but will discover to thee the truth of the affair, provided that thou acquaint me with the true state of thy case and the cause of thy sickness." Then he told him all that had passed, from first to last, between Abu al-Hasan and himself, adding, "I acted thus only out of friendship for thee, and of my desire to serve thee," and assured him that he would keep his secret and venture life and good in his service. So Ali in turn told him his story and added, "By Allah, O my brother, naught moved me to keep my case secret from thee and from others, but my fear lest folk should lift the veils of protection from certain persons." Rejoined the jeweler, "And I desired not to foregather with thee, but of the great affection I bear thee, and my zeal for thee in every case, and my compassion for the anguish thy heart endureth from severance. Haply I may be a comforter to thee in the room of my friend Abu al-Hasan during the length of his absence. So be thou of good cheer and keep thine eyes cool and clear." Thereupon Ali thanked him and repeated these couplets. "And say I, patient I can bear his faring. My tears and sighings give my say the lie. How can I hide these tears that course adown this plain my cheek for friend too fain to fly?" Then he was silent a while, and presently said to the jeweler, "Knowest thou what secret the girl whispered to me?" Answered he, "Not I, by Allah, O my lord." Quoth Ali, "She fancied that I directed Abu al-Hasan to go to Bassorah, and that I had devised this device to put a stop to our correspondence and consorting. I swore to her that this was on no wise so, but she would not credit me and went away to her mistress, persisting in her injurious suspicions. For she inclined to Abu al-Hasan and gave ear to his word. Answered the young jeweler, "O my brother, I understood as much from the girl's manner, but I will win for thee thy wish, inshallah." Rejoined Ali bin Bakkar, "Who can be with me in this? And how wilt thou do with her when she shies and flies like a wildling of the wold?" Cried the jeweler, "By Allah, needs must I do my utmost to help thee, and contrive to scrape acquaintance with her without exposure or mischief." Then he asked leave to depart, and Ali bin Bakkar said, "O my brother, mind thou keep my counsel." And he looked at him and wept. The jeweler bade him goodbye and fared forth, and Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased saying her permitted say. Hi, Jim. Let me just wave back. Now when it was the 161st night, she said, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that the jeweler bade him goodbye and fared forth, not knowing what he should do to win for him his wishes. And he ceased not walking while over musing the matter, till he spied a letter lying in the road. He took it up and looked at its direction and superscription, then read it, and behold, it ran, "From the least worthy of lovers to the most worthy of beloveds." So he opened it and found these words written therein: "A messenger from thee came, bringing union hope, but that he erred somehow with me, the thought prevailed. So I rejoiced not, rather grew my grief still more, weeting my messenger of wits, and wit had failed. But afterwards, know, O my lord, that I ken not the reason why our correspondence between thee and me hath been broken off. But if the cruelty arise from thy part, I will requite it with fidelity, and if thy love have departed, I will remain constant to my love of the parted. For I am with thee, even as says the poet, be proud, I'll crouch, bully, I'll bear, despise, I'll pray, go, I will come, speak, I will hear, bid, I'll obey." As he was reading, lo, up came the slave girl, looking right and left, and seeing the paper in the jeweller's hand, said to him, "O my master, this letter is one I let fall." He made her no answer, but walked on, and she walked behind him, till he came to his house, when he entered, and she after him, saying, "O my master, give me back this letter, for it fell from me." Thereupon he turned to her and said, "O handmaid of good, fear not, neither grieve, for verily Allah the Protector loveth those who protect. But tell me, in truthful way, thy case, as I am one who keepeth counsel. I conjure thee by an oath not to hide from me aught of thy lady's affairs, for haply Allah shall help me to further her wishes, and make easy by my hand that which is hard." When the slave girl heard these words, she said, "O my lord, indeed a secret is not lost, whereof thou art the secretist. Nor shall any affair come to naught for which thou strivest. Know that my heart inclineth to thee, and would interest thee with my tidings. But do thou give me the witness to whatso I say." Quoth he, "Thou hast spoken truly, for I am acquainted with the root of the matter." Then he told her his tale of Ali bin Bakkar and how he had learned his state of mind, and related to her all that had passed from first to last. Whereat she rejoiced, and they too agreed that she should take the letter and carry it to Ali, and return and acquaint the jeweler with all that had happened. So he gave her the letter, and she took it and sealed it up as it was before, saying, "My mistress Shams al-Nahar gave it to me sealed, and when she hath read it and given it its reply, I will bring it to thee." Then she took leave and repaired to Ali bin Bakkar, whom she found awaiting, and gave him the letter. He read it, and writing a paper by way of reply, gave it to her. And she carried it to the jeweler, who tore asunder the seal, and read it, and found written therein these two couplets: "The messenger who kept our commerce hid hath failed, and showeth wrath without disguise. Choose one more leal from your many friends, who truth approving disapproves of lies." To proceed, "Verily I have not entered upon perfidy, nor have I abandoned fidelity. I have not used cruelty, neither have I put off lealty. No covenant hath been broken by me, nor hath love tie been severed by me. I have not parted from penitence, nor have I found aught but misery and ruin after severance. I know nothing of that thou avouchest, nor do I love aught but that which thou lovest. By him who knoweth the secret of hidden things, none discover. I have no desire save union with my lover. And my one business is my passion to conceal, albeit with sore sickness I ail. This is the exposition of my case, and now all hail." When the jeweler read this letter and learned its contents, he wept with sore weeping. And the slave girl said to him, "Leave not this place till I return to thee, for he suspecteth me of such and such things, in which he is excusable. So it is my desire to bring about a meeting between thee and my mistress, Shams al-Nahar, howsoever I may trick you to it. For the present, I left her prostrate, awaiting my return with the reply." Then she went away, and the jeweler passed the night with a troubled mind. And when day dawned, he prayed his dawn prayer and sat expecting the girl's coming. And behold, she came in to him, rejoicing with much joy. And he asked her, "What news, O damsel?" She answered, "After leaving thee, I went to my mistress and gave her the letter written by Ali bin Bakkar. And when she read it and understood it, she was troubled and confounded. But I said to her, O my lady, have no fear of your affair being frustrated by Abu al-Hasan's disappearance. For I have found one to take his place, better than he, and more of worth, and a good man to keep secrets. Then I told her what was between thyself and Abu al-Hasan, and how thou camest by his confidence and that of Ali bin Bakr, and how that note was dropped and thou camest by it. And I also showed her how we arranged matters betwixt me and thee. The jeweller marvelled with much wonder, when she resumed, And now, my mistress, would hear whatso thou sayest, that she may be assured by thy speech of the covenants between thee and him. So get thee ready to go with me to her forthwith. When the jeweller heard the slave girl's words, he saw that the proposed affair was grave and a great peril to brave, not lightly to be undertaken or suddenly entered upon. And he said to her, O my sister, verily I am of the ordinary, and not like unto Abu al-Hasan. For he, being of high rank and of well-known repute, was wont to frequent the Caliph's household because of the need of his merchandise. As for me, he used to talk with me, and I trembled before him the while. So if thy mistress would speak with me, our meeting must be in some place other than the Caliph's palace, and far from the abode of the Commander of the Faithful. For my common sense will not let me consent to what thou proposest. On this wise he refused to go, and she went on to say that she would be surety for his safety, adding, Take heart and fear no harm, and pressed him to courage till he consented to accompany her. Withal his legs bent and shivered, and his hands quivered, and he exclaimed, Allah forbid that I should go with thee. Indeed, I have not strength to do this thing. Replied she, Hearten thy heart, if it be hard for thee to go to the Caliph's palace, and thou canst not muster up courage to accompany me, I will make her come to thee. So budge not from thy place till I return to thee with her. Then the slave girl went away, and was absent for a while, but a short while. After which she returned to the jeweller, and said to him, Take thou care that there be with thee none save thyself, neither man-slave nor girl-slave. Quoth he, I have but a slave girl who is in years, and who waiteth on me. So she arose and locked the door between his slave girl and the jeweller, and sent his manservants out of the palace. After which she fared forth and presently returned, followed by a lady who, entering the house, filled it with the sweet scent of her perfumes. When the jeweller saw her, he sprang up and set her a couch and a cushion, and she sat down while he seated himself before her. She abode a while without speaking till she had rested herself, when she unveiled her face, and it seemed to the jeweller's fancy as if the sun had risen in his home. Then she asked her slave girl, Is this the man of whom thou spakest to me? Yes, answered she. Whereupon the lady turned to the jeweller and said to him, How is it with thee? Replied he, Right well. I pray Allah for thy preservation and that of the Commander of the Faithful. Quoth she, Thou hast moved us to come to thee, and possess thee with what we hold secret. Then she questioned him of his household and family, and he disclosed to her all his circumstance and his condition, and said to her, I have a house other than this, and I have set it apart for gathering together my friends and brethren, and there is none there save the old slave girl of whom I spoke to thy handmaid. She asked him on what wise he came first to know how the affair began, and the matter of Abu al-Hasan, and the cause of his wayfaring. Accordingly, he told her all he knew and how he had advised the journey. Thereupon she bewailed the loss of Abu al-Hasan and said to the jeweler, "Know, O such an one, that man's souls are active in their lusts, and that men are still man, and that deeds are not done without words, nor is end ever reached without endeavour. Rest is won only by work." And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased to say her permitted say. That was it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the story. Joanna will be continuing tomorrow. I'll be seeing you very probably on Thursday. I wish you a wonderful, peaceful night, sweet dreams. Enjoy the raindrops outside in Vienna. And wherever you are in the world, please remember to go inwards instead of outwards. Sending you much love. Thanks for tuning in.